What is up, guys, and welcome back to another Discord bot tutorial video. It has been a while, I have to admit. Like my last upload on the tutorial was about a month ago. So I just wanted to upload a few videos just to keep you guys updated, because my latest actual video is actually taking a while, and like you'll see what that is eventually. But yeah, like just to keep this tutorial updated, I'm just gonna upload a few videos, and then we'll go into the big boy videos later on. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to make documentation for your bot, because like you might have all these commands here, like you have all these different commands like in your bot, and your users need to be able to know how to use them, right? So like the first thing we did was like we made a help command, and we use buttons to basically select a type of category, and it will list all the commands there. But there's actually better ways that you can actually display documentation. So what I'm going to teach you lot is actually how to make a website that actually shows documentation for your Discord bot. So for my caller bot, so if I go to my caller bot over here, in the About Me, I've actually made a website that actually shows all the different documentation. So if we open this website, then as you can see, we've got a nice looking website with a nice user interface. We've got a sidebar that shows all the different categories, prefix commands and slash commands. And for example, if I just click on games, then it views all the game commands. It pretty much explains how you use them. There's some like different parameters here. Like if I go into, I don't know, tools, for example, then we've got all the tools commands here, and it shows you how to use them. So like this is a pretty good idea to like give your viewers a nice way to view how to use your bot, basically. So as you can see, I can close the sidebar. I can actually change the theme to rust, coal, navy. There's like so much stuff here, and I can also search this website as well. So if I want to search for, I don't know, let's search for game, and as you can see, it pretty much takes me to the game command section, and I can just click on it, and then it shows me, it's pretty cool. So like in this video, I'm going to show you how to create this. It's pretty easy, so let's get started. And as usual, I always say this at the start of every video now, if any of you watching are a beginner and you just want to get started with a nice template, then I've got this C# Discord bot template that you guys can use pretty much. It's pretty easy to get started as a Discord bot programmer with this template. So this is very useful for beginners or even for testing purposes, because it's a nice empty framework. It's very good for testing in an empty framework where there's like not a lot of clutter of code and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely check this out in the description. Let's get started with the documentation. Okay, first of all, we have to be on GitHub for this. So GitHub is actually the way we get to create this documentation. So GitHub has this feature called GitHub Pages, where we can actually create websites through a repo. It's pretty easy to do, and it also uses containerization using a virtual built-in Linux machine to actually build and make this website work. So what we're going to do is create a new repo. So right now there's no coding or anything like that. So let's not use a template. Let's assign myself as the owner, and let's just make name this, I don't know, example a documentation, and then we'll make this public. So make sure this is public, because when you get around to publishing the website, if you make it private, then it won't be accessible. So make sure you make this public. So let's press create repo. So cool, there's pretty much nothing in it. So what we're going to do next is go into the actions. So we're going to click the actions tab, and then we're going to scroll down and go to pages. So as you can see, this is the GitHub Pages tab. So what we're going to do is click on view all, and these are all the like the possible configurations that you can do to host a website through your repo. And what we're going to do is click on mdBook. So this mdBook configuration is what allows us to host the website in that lovely format with the nice sidebar and everything, the search tab. mdBook is pretty much what allows us to do that. So what we'll do is press configure, And what this is going to do is create a workflow for us. So a workflow is the containerization bit I was talking about. So this is actually going to use Ubuntu as a container, and it's going to actually build a website for us. So this is pretty cool. You know, like we don't have to do anything, you know, very complex on our computers. You know, there's no need to use command prompt or anything like that. Yeah, so we're going to leave this as is, and then we're going to commit the changes. So we're just going to leave this you know, like this mdBook.yml file as is. Don't change anything in it, and we're just going to press commit changes, like so. So we're going to press commit changes, and then what we're going to do next is go to settings, and the pages tab, and then we're going to click GitHub Actions for this. So the source has to be from GitHub Actions. So what we're going to do is click on GitHub Actions, and then we are ready to go. So now we can start cloning this. So as you can see, this is obviously guaranteed to fail. So we don't have to worry about that. So what we're going to do is clone this in Visual Studio. Now for me, I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code. So what we're going to do is close this. Like it doesn't matter what ID you use, honestly, it's the same thing. So we're going to open up VS Code. So what I'm going to do is clone my example repo. So I'm going to clone from GitHub, make sure I'm signed in, obviously. And then there we go, there's my, you know, like there's my example documentation repo. And then we're going to click on that. And then we'll just make a folder somewhere. So I guess I'll just make it in my projects folder. So we'll just say example. So it's going to start cloning, and yep, open. And as you can see, yep, there we go. We have our workflow file, the mdBook.yml. So now we are ready to make the website. Okay, so next up, what we're going to do is install something called Rust. So the way mdBook actually works is it actually builds using Rust as a programming language. What you guys need to do is just pretty much download and pretty much install it. So all you got to do is just download your 32-bit or 64-bit. So once you've installed this, what we are then going to do is open our repo in our file explorer. So what we're going to do is go to my folder. So like example website, example documentation, and we should be here. So we have our GitHub workflow folder. So we should be here. So what I'm going to do now is copy and paste this file path, and then what we're going to do is open command prompt. So let's type in cmd. And what we're going to do is navigate to this folder. So we're going to say cd, and then we'll paste in that link. And you know, since mine is in a different drive, I need to go to D first, and then there we go, we are in. So all you need to do is migrate to your folder where you have your you know, like your repo. So just to show you how to install Rust properly, I'm going to do it right in front of you so that you guys know what is correct and what isn't correct. So we're going to like download this 64-bit, and then we're going to open it. So it should run a command window, and as you can see, yep, there are Rust prerequisites and stuff like that. So what we need to do is do the quick install. So you know, this is pretty simple. So all we got to do is type in 1, and it's going to download the Visual Studio installer. When you install this Rust application, it'll actually look for the C++ installation in your Visual Studio for 2022. So if you have that installed, then you can press 1, proceed with installation. So press 1, and it's just going to start downloading pretty much. And as you can see, one of those components is cargo. So this is what so this is the package manager that we will be using to install mdBook. So like you'll see how it works. It looks like Rust has successfully installed. So but if it does fail, then it's most likely that you have to check this option. So desktop development with C++, because it does take files from that to be able to install Rust. So let's just close that off. Let's press the enter key to continue, and then we can restart command prompt. So so cool. If we type in cargo, it should work now. So yeah, there we go, cargo. So now the next step is to install mdBook itself, and then we can actually move on to creating the book pretty much. So what we do is say cargo, and then install mdBook, and then it should start doing its thing. So there we go. It's getting it from a site called crates.io, And there we go, mdBook version 4.31. So there we go. It's pretty much just doing this thing, and it should install. I think this is where the error should come up about the Visual Studio C++. We'll see. Okay, yeah, so this is where the error comes up. So yeah, it looks like, yeah, so like this is where the error actually comes up. So yeah, it says, please ensure that VS 2017 or later are installed with the Visual C++ options. So if we go back to if we go back to the installer, make sure you check that C++ option and then do cargo install mdBook again, and then it should install properly. So once you've done that, we can now go into making the actual mdBook in VS Code. So the next thing to do is actually build an mdBook. So, you know, like doing this command will actually generate a book for us, and that will be the format of our website. So like you'll see how it works. So what we're gonna do is pretty much type in the following command. So we're gonna say mdBook and then init. So this is mdBook and then initialize. That's what the command means. So we're gonna initialize our mdBook, and let's just give this a name. So let's just say, I don't know, example book. Cool. So that's all we need. So mdBook initialize example book, and then we're gonna press enter. It's going to ask us, do we want a git ignore? In this case, no, not really. So we're going to press N for no. What title would you like to give the book? So let's say, I don't know, my Discord bot documentation. Or, you know, what's it, like my Discord bot commands. I think that makes sense, commands. Because we are going to be, you know, showing what commands are in our bot, right? So that's our title. And there we go. It successfully created a new book. All done, no errors. So if we actually check the folder now, as you can see, there's a folder called example book, and it's pretty much built it for us. So we've got a book folder, we've got an src folder. This is actually the source folder. So this is the folder where we will be storing all of our website pages in, and then we have this book.toml file here. Let's see what that is. So let's open this. Book.toml. So as you can see, this is actually our book configuration. So it's put me as the author, it set the language as English, multilingual equals false, src. So like it's set the source folder as our src folder here, and then the title, my Discord bot command. So you can see how this works. So once we push this as a commit, it's going to start building in our actions page. So as you can see, it's failed because we haven't got, so like if we check why it's failed, let's see. Build with mdBook. It's saying it couldn't open summary.md in the example documentation src directory. So when we initially, you know, pushed this, you know, this .yml file, we didn't have any of those folders, but now we do. So we have an, you know, a src file. We have a summary.md here. So our book is now built. So let me show you how this actually works. So let me get up my my documentation website again. So we have this you know, left hand side here containing all of our different you know, sort of pages, or you know, our different sections. I think that's what, you know, how you call it. So how do we get these sections here? So that's what the summary.md file is for. So as you can see, if we actually view this, this actually views a sort of preview of what our website will look like. So this is how, you know, like this is how you do it. So if you've realized, this actually uses markdown language, hence the name mdBook. So it's saying markdown book. So that's what it means. It means a markdown book. So we are going to be using markdown language to make this website. So before I even started doing any, you know, sort of coding, making this website, I hugely advise you to learn markdown language. It's so simple, honestly. It's so simple to learn markdown language. So like I'll teach you how to get the summary.md file ready, but this is the file that will contain our general layout for you know, like this website. So like if I show you the summary.md for this website, it will give you a better idea. So there we go. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. This is the summary.md file. for that corner website. And you can see how everything is laid out. So we have the welcome, and then we have the prefix commands, and then the ones that come underneath the prefix commands are all these different articles here. And then slash commands, it's the same idea. So like if we have a look at one of the articles, so prefix, so like if we have a look at the, I don't know, game commands, then as you can see, it's just using markdown language to write this. So let's get our, you know, example bot website set up. So let's, you know, close all of that off. Okay, so first of all, we're going to get all of this in one folder. So I don't like how this folder structure looks. So what we're going to do is just move this up a folder. So we're going to get rid of example documentation, and then we'll also move this up a folder. So everything needs to be in the main repo folder. So we'll get rid of this example book, and then also the book folder, because we don't need that. So like the only folders we need to have here is the src and the book.toml file, and also the GitHub workflow folder. So that's all we need. So let's reopen our thing back up, and it should look, let's open our folder. And there we go. This is how it should look. So we have a nice src folder, and then we have the book.toml folder. So like now we're ready to code pretty much. So let's get rid of this chapter1.md file. Like we don't need that. So we have a bunch of commands here. So like these are all these are all the commands that we've coded over the course of this tutorial. So we have the simple message command. There's loads of different categories that we've got here. Discord component commands. We have game commands. Like there's everything on here. So we can pretty much make documentation on this, right? So what we can do is make a markdown file for each category, right? So let's do that. So in this src folder, let's first of all, let's create a new folder for our commands. So let's say new folder. So new folder, and then we're going to say commands. And then in this folder, we'll have two new folders, like in my callerbot example. So we'll have one for prefix commands and then one for slash commands. So we'll say, not here. I want to create it in the folders. I want to create it in the commands folder. There we go. So prefix, cool. So we've got two nice folders here. So let's create our first markdown file in this folder. So what do we have here? So we have basic commands. So let's go here and let's create a file called basic.md. So bear in mind, this is a markdown file. So we have to put md at the end to signify that it's a markdown file. And then we press enter. And there we go. Like we've got a basic.md file. And then we can start coding this website. So what we can do is give it a title. So we can say basic commands. And if you want to see how your markdown file looks, then you can press this button here, open preview to the side. And there we go. It shows a preview of our website. I'm just going to do this as an example. So we'll code one basic commands MD file, and then we'll do one for slash commands as well, so that you have a nice idea. So for basic commands, let's see. So we have message command. So let's say, let's add a bullet point. So this is for message, like also make this bigger. Let's do 3 hashes. So yeah. So I think that looks a bit better, doesn't it? Isn't it? And then we can say, this command sends a simple message. Embed message. Message. This command sends an embed message. Let's do like some other ones. Let's do help. So help. So this command views the help menu. Cool. And then we can do Control.S to save it. So there we go. It appeared as a change in our source control Git. So we're done with that. So that's cool. Let's make one for slash commands. So what do we have in slash commands? Let's see. So we have fun.sl. So let's make a fun slash commands file. So we'll say fun.md. So let's give it a title. So we'll say fun commands. Let's view the preview as well. Cool. So like let's use bullet points in this one. So like I'm just giving you multiple ideas of how to write your markdown. So like the first command is test. So what does this do? It just sends an embed. So okay. So what we can do here is get a bullet point, and then we can use bold text. So let's say test, and then put all of this in bold. So we can say 2 asterisks to put this in bold, and then we can say an arrow saying what this command does. So let's say this / command sends a embed. Cool. And then we can do the next bullet point. So what's next? Poll. So what we can do is put 2 asterisks, and then we can say poll. So this command allows you to hold a poll in your server. Cool. What's the next one? Caption. So we'll put the asterisk, so we'll say caption. Cool. So we've got both of these MD files done. So like this is how they look. Basic commands looks like that. The personalization is put up to you. You can add pictures, you can add just put anything you want, honestly. As long as it's showing how the commands work, then it's all cool, so like that's all cool. So we're done with that. We also need a nice welcome page. So let's also make a nice welcome page as well. So what we're going to do is go out of here, and I'm just going to create a welcome.md file in the source folder. So let's just say welcome.md. MD. There we go. So let's say welcome to the example Discord bot website, and let's let's add a picture. So I've got my like if I go to my bot repo, then there we go. We have this like picture here. So what I'm going to do is copy this as a link. But first of all, let's actually lay out how we can like insert this picture in. So like the beauty of Markdown is we can actually use HTML formatting in Markdown language. So it is pretty cool, and it pretty much allows us to insert pictures in the most efficient way possible. So we can actually use some HTML language to insert a picture in. So what we'll do then is add add like a paragraph block. So let's say P for the paragraph, and what we'll do is align this to the center because we want this to be nice and centered in the website. So we'll say align, and then we'll set this equal to center. So center. And then what we can do is end this off with a nice /p. So if you've learned HTML, you'll recognize this. So now we can insert the image. So what we can do is say img src, and then let's insert the link. So let me copy and paste the link. Copy link, and let's paste it in. Let's see what that looks like in the preview. So there we go. Look at that. That is very cool, isn't it? So it's put it nice in the middle of our website. And even though this is a Markdown file, we can use HTML language to do anything you want. Honestly, like you can use the headers, pretty much the whole HTML language. You can use it. It's sick. It is sick. This website shows everything you need about the Discord bot. So for your bots, you can customize it. So this website shows everything about my bot, and you can like provide information like the prefix for this bot is, and then put the exclamation mark, and you can add whatever you want in your welcome page. So it's pretty cool, right? So let's save that, and we're done, honestly. So let's close all of these tabs off. So we've got our 2 command pages, and then we've got a welcome page. So what we need to do is tell the summary.md how to lay it out, right? Because we want to tell it how we want to display it in the like the website, like we've got in this nice sidebar here. So what we're going to do is first let's put the welcome page first. So we'll say in box brackets, welcome, and then let's provide a link to this welcome page. So it's going to be this welcome MD file. So how do we provide the link to this MD file in our file system here? So what we can do is press full stop to view the file system, and then to go up a folder, we type in a slash. So as you can see, now we can access the welcome folder. So what we can do is insert that in. So now what we can do is provide a few sections for prefix commands. So prefix commands. So we'll leave that, and then slash commands. So bear in mind, these have to be separate websites, because like you want your basic MD files and your font MD file to view in separate websites. So what I'm going to do is just create a blank file here. So what we'll do is say prefix commands MD, and then I will say this section shows all the prefix commands, and then let's save that, and then we'll put it as this page here. So we'll say commands prefix and then prefix commands, and then we'll do the same thing for slash commands. So we'll create a new MD file in here, so slash commands MD, and they'll say, you know, this section shows everything about slash commands. Cool. So save that, and then we'll insert it in here. So commands, slash commands, and then slash commands MD. So how do we insert our, you know, our command information in these sections? So what you do is press enter and then tab. So when you tab underneath this main section, you are creating a sub page. So now what we can do here is say basic commands. So basic, and then what we can do here is insert in that, you know, like the link to our basic MD file. So we do go to commands, prefix, and then basic MD. So since we tabbed underneath our prefix commands, it's going to treat this line as a sub page of this, you know, this very section, just like how I got here. So I've got prefix commands, and then I tabbed calculator underneath. So it's going to go 2.1 and then calculator, 2.2 font. So that's how it works. And then if you tab underneath this, like this, then you are creating a sub page of this basic command. So that's pretty cool, right? So you can create a sub page of your, you know, prefix commands section. So like that's pretty cool. So we'll do the same thing for slash commands. So we'll tab underneath, and then we'll insert our font.md file. So we'll say font commands. So we'll go dot and then there's a slash, and then we'll go to slash commands and then font.md. So cool, that's our basic layout, and as you can see, that's how it looks in our, you know, preview. So it's going to use this MD file, and it's going to pretty much lay out the website for us. So the last step we have to do now is pretty much commit these changes. That's all we got to do. So let's save this, make sure everything is saved. So let's you know, save all. Yeah, so it looks like everything's saved. Cool. Make sure the book.toml is right. Yeah, that's cool. SRC is set as that. And if we check the workflow file, let's see if all the, you know, paths are correct. I think there's nothing we need to change here. So yeah, let's commit this. So let's say inserted command information, and what we're going to do is stage these commits, and then let's commit and push. So it should commit by now. Yep, there we go. Okay, so let's check our repo. So let's go here, and then let's refresh the page. So let's go to code, and there we go. There's our commit, inserted command information. So what it's doing right now, it's going through our workflow file, and it's going through all the jobs that are needed. So it's setting up jobs, and then it's going to install mdBook. So as you can see, it's doing that thing, and you can see how this is working. Look, it's using Linux, so it's pretty cool, right? So once mdBook is done installing, it's going to set up the pages using our summary.md file. So like we've got here, it's going to read our summary.md file and it's going to build the website for us. So we'll be back when this is done and you'll see how it works. Okay, so it's now installing mdBook, so like any minute now we should be done. Yep, there we go. So what it's going to do now is read the summary.md file and then set up the website. And then as you can see, it's created a second action and now it's going to deploy the actual website. So this should be fairly quick. So yeah, there we go, deploy to GitHub pages and it should report back success anytime. Yeah, there we go. It's now successful and it's returned a nice tick. So let's go through the build and let's see the code, or let's see what it actually did. So it's installed mdBook, so it's compiled everything. Yeah, it's it's a pretty big thing. So as you can see, this is the actual website. So as you can see, there's your HTML files. Look, it's pretty much converted our markdown files to HTML files, because as you know, pretty much any website is HTML, right? Like no matter how old it is, it's still viewing HTML, right? So it's pretty much it's pretty much built everything. There's loads of fonts here. There's the icon for the tab, and there's our HTML files. Look, commands/commands, and then /commands.html. I mean, that's literally what we put in. Let's go to our code, and as you can see, we've got a nice environments tab down here, GitHub pages, and we've got a deployment. So if we press view deployment, we should be getting our website here. So let's see. There we go. Look at that. That's pretty much what we coded. So we got welcome to the example Discord website, and as you can see, our summary.md is correct here. So we've got a prefix command. So there we go. This section shows all the prefix commands, and then if we view the basic, there we go. Message, this command sends a simple message, embed message 1, yeah man. And then if we view /commands, yeah, there we go. And then fun, there we go. So building a website can be done in various different methods. Obviously there's coding HTML from scratch. There's obviously going to a website hosting provider like Wix or Squarespace or stuff like that. But I think using mdBook is a very easy and simple way to host a website like this, and show command documentation. So this is very easy. Pretty much, if you want to add information to your website, all you got to do is add to your repo. So if you're adding more pages, then you add it to the src folder, code your stuff, make it look good, and then add it to the summary.md file. Very simple. And then once you're done, all you got to do is commit the changes and wait for it to successfully build. It's very simple, honestly. It's very simple, and it should be useful for those of you that are looking to like pretty much view all your commands in a nice website. If you have any questions, then let me know in the comments below. Obviously, join the Discord server if you have any issues, or if you want to submit any ideas. But apart from that, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and sub to the channel, and I'll see you lot in the next one. Peace out.